Okay, I just saw this weird video on TikTok, and it's a tourist, I think, walking through Edmonton because the Calgary Stampede is just over, and everybody packs up from that and goes to Edmonton for Klondike Days or K Days. I think that's what they call it now. And I realized that a lot of people don't know how old Canada is. And it's really kind of weird. Like, they think that Canada was like made in like the 1900s. And they don't understand that people have been living there for generations before that. And as Canada, as Canadians, since like 1795 in this time, like they're talking about Edmonton, Alberta. And they're talking about like Fort Edmonton. And the guy says that like Edmonton was created in like 1905 and it's a charming little city. And it was like, that's the capital of Alberta. There's millions of people there. It's not just a charming little city. Like, what are you talking about? Maybe that's considered small wherever he's from. That 4 million people, or how many ever people that live in Edmonton now. I don't know. Pretty shocking. And just like, he thought it was started in 1905. That just people showed up in 1905. And it got me thinking, how old do you think Canada is? Like, people have been living in Canada, societies living in Canada for like since all time. Indigenous groups have been living in Canada, but like modern kind of Anglo-Saxon people have been living in there since like 1795. I think at this time it was like the Northwest Mounted Police were at that Fort Edmonton. And then I also saw some information about Calgary, like Fort Calgary. And this is, I think, why it's kind of tricky, because in Calgary, they're trying to erase the history of Fort Calgary. They renamed Fort Calgary the Confluence or something like that. But if you're from Calgary, you know it's Fort Calgary. It's next to Inglewood. And how, like, it wasn't actually called Fort Calgary, it was called, like, Fort Brisbois at one time. I think it was like there was a General Brisbois or something like that, and he named it after himself. And people were like, "You can't do that," so they changed it to Fort Calgary. Calgary is a place in Scotland. Anyhow, I just think it's kind of weird. Like, how old do you think Edmonton is? Did you not know that Edmonton existed in the 1700s?